Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about stats in Elemental Dungeons. So the little points you put into every time you rank up, I'm going to be explaining what they do, how they work, and everything in this video. But before I do that, I'm going to be doing a giveaway and I'm going to be announcing the winner on Friday. All you have to do to enter is comment, subscribe. It's going to be probably an 1,000 Robux giveaway. I was going to do a game pass, but I figured like if I just did 1,000 Robux, it would be easier and you could spend it on whatever you want in Roblox. So to better show you, I had 3 refund tokens. So I used one to reset all my stats to better kind of show you how it works. I can throw up some codes on the screen here now. Some of these codes will give you refund points just in case you want those. But to start off, every time you level up, you get 2 stat points you can attribute. And you can attribute those into any of these 3 categories. The first being sword power, then elemental power, and then defensive. Defense just increases your health. Elemental power increases the power you do with elements, and sword power increases the power you do with swords. Say you have a lot of available points like this, like 384, and you don't want to just start spam clicking one. You can do something like this, where you can type in 38, and then you can click one of these and it'll attribute 38 points in case you want to just put more points in faster. So I got out of the public and I went to a private because I'm going to show you what it does, like what each stat does every time you increase it, like so you can kind of see it. But I'm going to start off with health. Now, as you can see, I've put no stat points into my health at all. All of it comes from my armor, all 2,146. So I'm going to put a point into my health and you can see how much it goes up. Bang, it goes up 5. So each time you put a point into defense, your health goes up 5. I don't think you should do too much defense because as you can see, my health is already absurdly high from just my armor. And like if I just start like, say I dump like 20 points into this, right? I've only gone up like 100 health. Okay, I've actually gone up exactly 100 health. Whereas if you were to put 20 points into like sword or elemental power, I think you'd get a lot more value out of those 20 points. So generally, I would avoid putting too many points into defense, if really any at all. But just so you know what it does, it increases your health by 5 for each individual point. Next off is going to be magic damage, I decided. And with magic damage, it's going to be a little different because there's a lot more variables that play into the damage that you deal, like the weaknesses and strengths of the enemy you're facing, the mastery, is it corrupted, how strong is the element just in itself, what ability are you using. So there's a lot more variables that play into how strong your element is, but I'm going to be showcasing how much each point increases my phantom's damage. So to start off, each slap has a base 423 damage, right? So if we go over here, we pop a point into element, so 423. Now it's 462. You can see my damage jumped up 40. Whereas if like I'd have put it into health, my health would have only gone up 5. So you just get way more like kind of, I guess, bang for your buck if you're putting points into elemental. So like we dump, say up to 20, just like we did with defense. And now I went from 423 to 1,172. So I like almost tripled my damage. But just so you remember that it's not going to be the same for you. It's not like if you put 1 point, it's going to increase it by that much, because again, there's a lot of variables with how much damage you do. Like I said, your element, your mastery, your own level, the strengths and weaknesses, which you can find under traits. Like Phantom is strong against certain things and weak against other things. So now this dummy, it doesn't like register that because it's just like a blank slate. And also your rings as well will increase your magic damage as well as health, but I'm not really going too much into that. Elemental power is probably one of the more popular places to put things. So yeah. So swords are kind of like elements, but a little different. So unlike defense, where it's very straightforward, you put a point in, you get 5 health. With element, it's little different. You put some points in and it kind of like bases it off of a couple different things. And with sword, it's kind of similar to element, but instead a lot of it's changed by how your reforge, which you can do right over at the blacksmith. It's changed on what type of sword it is, like the rarity. Some swords have abilities and others don't. And then most of all, what swords are most like weighed by is probably just how much you've upgraded it. You can see each time you upgrade this, it goes up 6 damage, which is, I think, proportionally more. We can test it. So if I hit with this sword, we've done 157. And if I put 1 skill point in, we've now done 159. So for each skill point I put in, it's only increasing this sword's damage by 2. And it can change from sword to sword. It's not like universal. I don't believe it is anyways, unless, well, I mean, we can check. Lightning Katana 712. 1 skill point. 714. Okay, so it might be universal. So every time you put a skill point in, it might just increase the power by 2. But we'll try on a third one and see if it does with the trident as well. 961 to 962. Okay, so it's not like super consistent. But again, this could be a little off because of reforges and things like that. But mainly, it's probably going to be weighed by your reforge. Or no, first with swords, it's going to be weighed by how much you have it upgraded. And then probably the reforge. And then probably the skill points you have into it. Or maybe those two things will be very close to each other. But just like defense, you're going to have to put an absurd amount of points into this to make it like even usable. That's about all for today's video. It's very easy to understand with the stats. You put points in and pretty much it just gets stronger, whatever you're putting into it. I really do suggest just dumping most of your stats right into elemental power. I think that's the best place to put them. But at the end of the day, it's up to your own choice. And I did some tests so you can kind of see how much it's weighed and what it kind of looks like each time you put an extra point in. But if you found this helpful, be sure to like, comment, and yeah. Thanks for watching. See ya.